Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I want to start off by saying this. First and foremost, I do not care. I don't care how you feel as a white person about this game. I don't care if you've played the game and you don't like it. I don't care that you consider this game quote and unquote woke, because it just shows to me that your little fragile ego of whiteness was shattered by what is considered to be a very magnificent and beautiful game. And in all truth and honesty, this game, even for those who are white and who played it, this game was not made for you people. This wonderful masterpiece was made for us. And I gotta be honest with you people, I was overwhelmed with strong feelings and emotions while playing this game. And I can't tell you how many times I almost teared up in my eyes and shed tears for the sadness that was going on in this game, that Hazel had to reweave and help people and find out what happened in these stories. Man, this was such an amazing game. This game took you in a direction that, I have to be honest, no game has ever really taken me in that direction before, and that's why I really liked and loved this game. Again, I don't care what these white fragile egos little boys feel about this game. I'm telling you, as a black man, I absolutely positively loved this game, and I am hoping and wishing for there to be a sequel to this game, one with improved gameplay. Now we can get into that, right? We can get into the gameplay, right? So let's talk about it. So the thing about this game is that it's not that it's a button masher. I didn't find this game to be a button masher, even though like your main attack was X. I found it to be just kind of like Sekiro, but in a way a more soft core version of Sekiro. The thing about it is that if you're used to hack and slashes and you're used to just pressing buttons, pressing the X button, pressing the Y button for a stronger attack, you're not gonna find that here. This game is going to cause you to strategize whenever you fight, and it's gonna cause you to not button mash when you play. The thing about it is that even though the combat may feel slow, the combat isn't actually slow. The fact of the matter is that you're just used to a certain type of combat play, that whenever you fight these guys, you just feel like you're supposed to wish, and then it's done. But that's not how it is with this game. You're not supposed to just bim bam boom and you're done. They're basically causing you to basically think and act accordingly when you fight these enemies. I really loved the story. I really love the story of this game. It drew me in from after the very first beginning, after and spoiler alert, I'm going to be I should have said this first before I even started the video. Spoiler alert. So I want to say that after, the whole flood incident, and the house was gone, that's when the game actually started to draw me in, because I was like, huh, how is this gonna play out and things like that. And it played out magnificently. From you learning your skills and your magic and your powers from, a past weaver who happens to be a Harriet Tubman type of character, helping those people to get to safety who are running from, slave plantations. That's why I said to these little white boys, these little egotistical white boys, this game is not for you. And I don't care about how you feel about this game. It's not being pushed to you guys. It's not for you. It is for us. And it's for us to support it. And we are supporting the game. And I hope and wish and pray a lot more of our people will support the game, because it definitely is for us. Now, one of the things like I said before, it started to draw me in after she started to learn her powers, and you're seeing things like, people escaping the plantation and running to safety and hiding out and things like that. And things like that tug at your heartstrings. It's not going to tug at other people's heartstrings. It tugged at my heartstrings, because you know what? I know exactly how my ancestors felt when they were running to safety and hiding from a people who were literally hunting them down, right? So, thinking about it is like, it was such an amazing game in terms of storytelling, in terms of telling, you know, everybody's story, like Jolene's story and what Jolene did to her father. And it's telling is his name Purobor or something like that? Purobor, the first guy that you help with his brother who became a tree, and you see his story, and you see how you're seeing how things are playing out, and what really and truly happened to these characters that made them become the magical creatures in the swamps that we're dealing with right now. It was like some unfortunate situations by the people that they actually love, that turn them into the creatures that they are right now. And that's what you're literally finding out. And of course, everybody's favorite story in the whole game was Ayatunde's story. And I gotta tell you, man, that tugged the most at my heartstrings as well. That really and truly tugged the most at my heartstring, man. Because again, reading the stories and actually getting a visualization, like really and truly seeing it. And even though this is not like a real happenstance, this really and truly did happen, because many of our people threw themselves off of the ships in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean so that these people would not take us here to this land. Many of the people basically they took themselves into the swamp, and they drowned in swamps and stuff like that, and lost their kids, and lost their husbands, and lost their wives and stuff like that, trying to escape the freedom. So this game was really bringing that out, the struggle for freedom, the struggle for love, the struggle for you know wanting to be free of all this evil and all this oppression. You understand what I'm saying? So basically, when you're seeing this story of Ayatunde, where she basically decided that it was gonna be, this or slavery for the rest of her life, she jumped off that boat with her baby, and she lost her baby and did not stop looking in that magical swamp, and the magical swamp turned her into that creature that is till this day still looking for her child who actually grew into the plant creature as well. But regardless, she still recognized him, because remember, she jumped off the boat with a baby, and that little boy couldn't be like more like 4 or 5 years old. but she still recognized him as her child. And the music that played, oh my goodness. I am going to let you listen to it right now.
Stay put. She might not recognize you. Let me protect you.
Mama will be there in the morning. Mama will be there in the morning.
Me next. Me and Mama next.
And as a white person, how the hell are you going to relate to a scenario such as that? That's why I said earlier in the video, I don't care. This game was not made for you. It was not for you. This target audience for this game was for us. And let me tell you something. You little butthurt children, because that's how I see it. Whenever you see black people in anything, that's your problem. We don't care anymore. We know who you are. We've stopped trying to reason with you because you're not reasonable people. We don't care anymore. We're just going to do our own thing. Whether you like it or not, that's your business. But again, this was not made for you. So throughout the whole game, people, you have music playing, and I'm telling you, the music alone makes the whole atmosphere of the game amazing. You just hear music playing throughout the whole game. Just listen to this. Just listen to this.
The answers were there, you knew all along. 'Cause life is a fight to be won.
Together, you go and hide in a cypress tree hollow. It was safe and dry. He trusted me fully. I nailed him inside. He thought we were playing. That was a lie.
Sorry to be moving you around like this.
Benji's name.
Oh, no. The bill!
Anger clouds roll on the far horizon. Sick green sky and tornadoes flying. How much longer until the river's rising? Birds fall silent and the critters are hiding. When mucky swamps and dusty lands colliding. Love stirs up what's not forgotten, twisted things, awesome dreams. Love stirs up what's not forgotten, true love for all to see.
Now, people, let me just tell you something. Throughout the whole game, this is what is playing. This is what you're experiencing. This is what you're literally being drawn into. The music, the world itself, the platform, the gameplay, as if how you're fighting, and you're trying to like get all of this at one time. But I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna be sucked into the music more than anything else in this game. The music and the story more than the gameplay itself. And it shows that maybe they didn't really want you to be like sucked into the gameplay. They really wanted this game to be about the story. And I'm gonna tell you the honest truth too. I've told people this many times. Nowadays, when I'm buying video games, I'm not buying video games because of the gameplay alone. I'm buying the video games mainly because of the story. Because the gameplay of a game can be amazing, but if the story is not great, then you're gonna end up like putting the game down and not finishing that game. And that one of the main reasons I even picked up Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was because of the story. It wasn't even because of the gameplay. I didn't really care about the gameplay. I just wanted to see the story itself. I wanted to find out what was going on in in the sagas, the story itself, whatever it is, blah 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 blah. And that's why I'm nowadays I'm picking up games because I just want to see what the storyline is about. And I got to be honest with you, hopefully, and I know a lot of us are hoping that there's either going to be DLC with more stories in there, or there's going to be, a sequel or a prequel. I want a sequel and a prequel to South of Midnight. And I'm going to tell you why I want a prequel. I want Mahalia's story of how she became a dream, a weaver. You understand? And I'm telling you the truth. I want that. I really and truly do want that. I want a game that's as long as this, right? Or a DLC, that would be able to be as long as this, or even a whole 24 hours long, or whatever it is, or 12 hours long, with Mahalia's story. And I want a sequel to this. I want a sequel in which, you see Hazel now passed it on the powers that she has to her child, teaching her child about it, etc., and getting her children ready for it. One thing that I would love to see is that, and I'm being honest about it, I'm being really and truly honest about this, is that, I really want to see a boy, get a chance at a game like this. This is an amazing game. This is an amazing game. I really and truly do love this game. I really and truly, love how the gameplay was. I love how the exploring was. I love how the stories were, like you were picking up bits and pieces of the story, like you were reading what was going on throughout the game, throughout the collectibles and stuff like that. You were finding out who did what and who did this, and you were piecing together pieces of the story, whichever chapter you were in, when you found those collectibles, when you were doing your investigation inside the story. So even the story with Itchy and hugging Molly and things like that, man, that was whoa. I still haven't figured out the story of hugging Molly, of how she came to be, but she seemed to be some sort of scientist and stuff like that. But yeah, listen, man, this was an absolutely, truly, positively amazing game. I really and truly liked this game, and I really want to see more of this type of game with our people in it. I don't care how they feel about it. They've had their heroes for a very long time. We've played as their heroes. We've enjoyed those games as their heroes. Now it's time to enjoy ourselves as our own heroes, seeing our own people in our own stories with our own powers. You understand? I don't care how they feel. The main problem I see with these people is that they are, once something is not centered around them, or once something is not about them being the hero of a story, I can guarantee you that if it was that she was learning her powers from a white man, or if she was, if some white hero came to help her and stuff like that and taught her how to do this, if she had a mentor who was white, none of them would have a problem with the game. But they would still find some problem with the game, saying on how, even though her mentor was such a great person, she just seemed to be falling and lacking behind. And, typical white people problems when it comes to black people being heroes of their own story. And, I find it that, I just find it funny that their main problem was that, you know, um, I mean, I don't want to say certain things, but with these guys just commenting and saying certain garbage, the things that come out of these people's mouths is just absolutely positively pathetic and sickening with how they behave and how they show their true colors. You can't tell me nothing. I don't care. Like all those people that said anything remotely bad about this game, they either never played the game, they don't know what they're talking about, or they're just flat out racist. And that's the truth of the matter. They're just flat out racist. I mean, if you're racist, just come out and say so. We understand that you're racist and we don't care. This game was not made for you. It is not for you. And it will never be about you. And from here on out, just get used to that being the case right now. That whenever we make something about our people, we don't even care if you buy it. We don't care if you support it. We know that our people will support it because it will be about our people. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't care if you feel the way you feel about this game. It's just not for you, buddy. It's just not for you. I'm sorry. Um, personal reviews. I want to make a little bit of sarcasm about the game. Now listen, this girl is a track star. She could run a little bit faster. Come on, man. More than half the time, it looks like she can't get from A to B. Like, she runs a little bit clumsy, and then we can always chalk it up to being the clothes that she's wearing and stuff like that. But come on, she's a track star. She should be able to move a little bit faster. Second thing, she should look a little bit more toned in the game if she's a track star. Yes, she's slim, like a track star should be slim, but she just looked like regular slim. She didn't look like somebody who's actually an athlete, and I kind of had a problem with that, and that was my problem with Hazel when I looked at her. And that's just me sarcasm anyway. It's a video game. It's not really a big problem for me and stuff like that, because I think that the athleticism that she did in the game was amazing. And she was running for so long and she didn't get tired and stuff like that. So I found that all amazing. It's a video game, and I'm just poking fun at it with sarcasm as well. But anyway, people, let me tell you something. It was an amazing game. I loved every bit of it. And if you haven't played this game as a black person, play the game. Play the game. If you have Xbox Game Pass, it is on there for free to download. That's where I played. That's how I played it. I didn't have to buy it. So I'm suggesting to my people, play the game, play the game, play the game. Anyway, people, let me tell you something. Here's my score. My score is gonna be 4 out of 5, and the only reason why I didn't give it a full 5 is that um it's because of the gameplay. And in terms of, like, when I mean the gameplay, I mean, like, I had expectations in terms of like how I should be playing, and that can also be my fault and my problems. But this is just my review and my score, personally. I think the gameplay was awesome. I just didn't like the fact that it was just like X, 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 just X for everything. That's number one. Number two, it made you believe that you are going to have the Y button as a hard attack button. And so there were many times when I was playing, I was kind of just like, using the Y button when I shouldn't be using it. And then, at the point in time when I actually got used to the gameplay, I was at the end of the game. Literally, I was at the end of the game. And if I should show you my videos and stuff like that, you'll see that I was playing like a rookie. I was barely, I wasn't able to match up that easily and stuff like that. And then when I did get really, really good to the game, when I really started to get used to the game, I was at the end of the game. So, that was something that I basically did not like about it. Is just that, I just thought, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault and stuff like that. People can't just hold your hands for every freaking thing. I'm just telling you how I felt about it. It just like, because I played so many hack and slash, so many, of these games where, it's light attack and heavy attack, and reflect and dodge and things like that. You kind of expect to have a light attack and a heavy attack, and because of that, no, your mindset was that you're pressing the white button when there's no white button to have a heavy attack and stuff. Like, even though they had a heavy attack in terms of like holding down the white button, that didn't do it for me, because you wanted to do combinations of adding the X and the Y button together. But Yeah, that was it. But I think it was an amazing game, 4 to 5, and I'm hoping for a sequel. You know, Hebrew Israelite Kingdom Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm out.